Welcome in, everybody, to episode Curry. NBA champion for the fourth time, Steph Curry, episode 30 of Understable Minds, a combined 0 NBA championships between the three of us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, only because I haven't even tried.
Right. Never been to the finals, but if I was there,
It's true.
So,
4-game sweep.
Yeah.
It'd be a 3-game sweep. I'm that good.
If you know what I'm saying.
For the audio people that can tell now by the audio, Eric is back from Alaska.
I am.
AJ's here.
Andy's
I'm
back.
here. Danny's here. We've got a full house. Everybody's back. Everybody is in stooge, ready to go. But guess who could also be here ready to go, AJ? You, the listener / viewer at home, could be here. You could work for DynamicDiscs. We currently have a position open in our team managing department, working alongside this guy, Mr. Eric McCabe, getting to deal with jokers and clowns like that guy, AJ Risley. As we have a team manager position open. You could yell at him for doing stuff like that if you were interested. If you are interested, you can find more information at ddiscs.com/workdynamic, all one word, WORKDYNAMIC. I think I nailed that.
Yeah.
ddiscs.com/workdynamic. There will, depending on when you are seeing / listening to this, there may be other job openings in the future, but right now we do have an opening in our team managing position. But Eric,
It's probably best to yell at me because I'm a little hard of hearing.
Yeah. Editor's note here. There will be a lot of yelling at AJ required. It's one of the main job duties and responsibilities is just kind of keep AJ in check.
True.
So
Facts.
yeah. Eric, you're back.
I am
You've
back.
been in Alaska for the last many weeks.
Yeah.
I've lost track of, keeping count at this point. Can you give us
the chalkboard on the wall doesn't have the little...
There's too many tally marks. We've run out of space.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Give us an update. Obviously, for people that don't know, in 2020 was the first time?
2020 was the first time that we ran the event. The first time I traveled to Alaska for this course was 2018. 2019, they were doing the install. 2020, 21, 22, we're all doing the install as well. Because let's face it, it's Alaska, and there's only really 3 months of opportunities to work, to get in the, get equipment out in the forest and do the work that needs done for the property and the course. And keeping in mind that they're also trying to run another business and do other things. So there's a lot that went into it, but very excited that the course is finally done. Anthony, you've been there twice now.
Yes.
And hopefully we can get you to go back once again.
I'd love to.
And check out some of the new holes that got finalized. Yeah, it was a tough work week. I was legit mixing concrete, pouring concrete, hauling concrete, did some tree work, did some skid steer work, which is always fun.
Nice.
It was good.
Playing with power tools.
Yes.
But then when you get power equipment, it's just
it's like a Tonka truck. It was very, very rewarding, I guess you would say, being able to get out there, and very surreal feeling being out in the middle of the forest and just running equipment. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And it, like you said, I've been lucky enough to go twice. The course is phenomenal.
It's so fun.
I haven't seen a fraction of the courses that you've done, but I have to imagine that the Meier Lake course is up there.
It's definitely up there in my top 2-3 for sure. There's no doubt about it. It has 2 tee pads on every single hole now. It has 2 basket placements on every single hole now. We have white and blue veterans for shorts and longs. And in the past, we've just kind of played a good mix of tees and long placement, short placements. But next year, we're looking at doing potentially an A tier. Cool. We want to do a big event. We want to go big. We want to get some of our players from here to go up to do clinics, which would involve you coming up and doing media, that kind of thing. And then we want to go shorts to shorts first round, and then longs to longs second round.
So let me get this straight. You don't want me to give the clinic.
I mean, if you want to give a clinic on how to properly film somebody during a clinic, that would be fantastic. There's a lot of people that need that information. So
yeah. My clinic on how to play disc golf would be a lot of I'm really not sure how to do this, but
I don't even know what I'm doing here.
I know there's a lot of trees and you don't want to hit them.
Yeah.
I hit a lot of them.
Yeah. So, but no, it's, Oh, I'm so excited about the course, the property. I didn't want to leave. Steve-O was up there, did the tournament. Jackie from here, Jackie Morris, also went up and co-TD'd, and she did a fantastic job. It was really exciting to get Jackie up there and get to see Alaska. It was her first time there, obviously. So we did a few fun like hikes outside of just work. We did get to get out a little bit and kind of relax a little too.
The scenery up there is. It's
all right.
Like another world. It's wild.
We did have a special guest run through the middle of the parking lot on day Friday.
I saw this.
And it was a moose. Big old moose just came running right through. It was just a small bull is what they called it, because he did have his antlers coming in, but they weren't coming in too far. But he was big. They called him small, but he was
relatively.
It was a horse.
Right.
Like... Yeah, and moose. It was really freaking cool. And I got a cool picture of him, and I think I posted it on Meier Lake's Instagram page. So make sure you guys go and follow Meier_Lake.
MEIER.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, like, real quick, a small moose is equivalent to a big horse, would you say?
I would say so. Maybe not quite Clydesdale size, but like
that's a big horse.
A good size
horse,
very large
right?
Horses. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Big. It's and like full on bull moose, like with the full rack antlers and everything, is scary.
Enormous, I bet.
There's a video that I've seen of, it's like a moose is like running down like the median of a highway, and the tops of cars are coming up to like the bottom of this thing's stomach. Like it could just walk over your car.
Yeah, just like if you hit one, you'll probably just take its legs out and it'll go right over the top of you. But
it's still going to do a ton
hopefully
of
over the
damage
top
to your car.
Yeah, I was also told that there are more human deaths by moose than there are bear in the state of Alaska.
I believe it.
Because if their cubs are around or their calves are around,
forget about it.
You're gone. I've seen video of them chasing grizzlies. It's crazy.
The real question, that's my question. Are there more bear deaths because of moose or more moose deaths because of bear?
That's a great question.
Because we lose, like, this is not a rock, paper, scissors type situation.
It's not.
We're bottom of this food chain.
Oh, we are. We 100%
Who's getting gold and silver medal here?
We are. You know what they say? If there's a bear and a moose chasing you, you just have to outrun one of them.
Yeah, but you're not outrunning either.
No. That's why you got to have a slow friend with you that you can trip up and just keep going.
So is this again why I'm coming back next year? Hopefully for you, and just in case you got scared.
Yeah, very possible.
Probably outrun Anthony.
That's probably right. But shout out to all the winners. Obviously, Mason, Mark Hill, both of those guys on our team, Team DD, went up, represented, and won their respective divisions. Right? Not Mason. This is the first time Mason's taking down the victory.
Okay.
He was there in 2020, the first year. He was not there last year, but he stayed on site and he was really focused on playing, and he ended up, I think, winning by
$1 million.
I don't remember how many he won by, but he shot an 11 down, like 1050 the last round, which is the best round that's been played on the course. So it's pretty cool to see.
Awesome.
Sweet. Very, very cool. Let's move on to another elevation event.
Okay. Elevated.
Yes, both in terms of physical elevation and also stature of the event.
I was hoping we were going to talk about this because I got some things to say about it.
Yeah. We played a Trilogy Challenge.
Sick.
That's what you're talking about, right?
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Let's move on to the moose versus bear race.
Yeah, so let's move on to our Trilogy Challenge between AJ, myself, and Danny. So the three of us, AJ Risley, myself, AJ Risley, Danny Lindahl, and then myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be polite. We played at the Supreme Short Course.
That's not the order of like finished, right?
It might be.
Okay.
You'll have to watch the video.
I will watch the video. I'm excited.
We played at the Supreme Short Course.
Okay.
We played a triples Trilogy Challenge. Not triples, just against each other. We didn't play against anyone else. We played all 18 holes with the Trilogy Challenge discs from this year. So we had the Gold Line Burst Saint was our driver.
Okay.
VIP Ice Tursus was the mid-range. And then the Prime Burst Agent was our putter. AJ?
Yeah, it was a Tursus. This guy kept calling it Warship the whole day.
Okay.
It was Tursus.
It flies like a warship does. I have kind of limited experience.
How is that possible? I feel like I feel like the Tursus is more like super understable mid, and the Warship is more neutral.
That is what I thought, but it was.
Right.
I don't have a ton of experience with the Tursus or the Warship, but the
Turship,
yes, it flew we kind of equated it to a truth.
Okay.
Where you could throw it on a hyzer, get it to flip, and kind of ride to the right a little bit. Yeah, where I was expecting a lot more understability.
Interesting.
From it. Yeah. So AJ, talk to me about the Saint. Burst Saint. Yeah. What do you think of it?
I really enjoy it. I certainly do. I
love the Saint. Yeah. It was one of my first discs, trilogy discs that I picked up with throwing. So
I think it was one of the first ones I tested out too before I was even on the team. And the Saint itself is a 9-speed with, I want to say 6 glide.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're right.
That checks out. Yeah, it really does. This thing, that disc will, when it's thrown properly, it will glide and glide and glide. A lot like an Escape. The more and more I thought about it after throwing, I saw the resemblance, and I recalled a lot of feelings that I had when I was first testing out discs. I was testing out the Escape a lot. Mm-hmm. And I realized, like, okay, if I can throw this disc properly with clean form, I know that I'll have thrown with clean form because the disc will fly beautifully. Yeah. But also at the flip side of that is my inconsistencies will rise to the surface a lot, because just of how touchy this disc is. And so that's kind of the feeling I got from the Saint was like, I could throw some really, really good lines. I was really working on like throwing these push hyzers that wouldn't quite hyzer flip. They would start out with hyzer and just kind of gently get up to flat without getting completely up to flat or turning over.
So like 70% power then, or are you full ripping that disc?
Yeah, I was, I would say like close 80 was my threshold.
Max. Okay.
Yeah. And I got over that a couple times and I could tell. So I think that's what's good about the Saint is it'll fly far. It has to be thrown properly.
Right.
And it's just a good training tool. And I mean, I really enjoy that gold burst, fusion burst plastic. So I was stoked to hear that was the driver in this trilogy challenge pack.
Yeah.
Flew beautifully for us. I think each one of us had like a highlight reel throw. You and Danny both had amazing shots on 16, which was old hole 9 on Jones East. Danny and I, spoiler alert.
Hey.
Danny and I parked hole 5 Supreme Short. Well, and you freaking parked hole 3. So many spoilers.
5, yeah.
It's a good disc. And I think we did it justice.
It flies nothing.
You threw the Justice?
Like the Justice.
Oh. Was it windy?
A little bit, maybe 10 miles an hour. Is that
not
fair
bad.
to say?
Fairly calm.
That's what I would be most concerned with those 3 molds. I mean, the Agent obviously is pretty overstable, but Saint into like a 25 mile an hour headwind or a Tursus, that would be struggle bus.
That'd be tough.
Yes.
We did a little bit of that the week before at New Life. I played the trilogy challenge out there.
Oh, Keith's new. Yeah. Yep.
And it got a little bit windy out there. And so throwing that Saint in those conditions was another test. And I enjoyed that process because it really made me like focus on my.
So you're saying you had the slight advantage over the other 2 because you'd 100%. Already thrown the trilogy challenge discs.
Yes.
Okay.
And we
just clarifying.
Right.
Just clarifying.
Just clarifying. Yeah. So leave a comment on this video. Who do you think's going to win the trilogy challenge?
What if they put me?
Yeah. It's a good guess.
Hey,
the odds are. Yeah.
I'll probably click on that comment because I enjoy some whimsy now and then.
Whimsy.
You should also be able to find that video up on our YouTube channel. As of recording, you can't find it.
Oh, man.
As of listening to this, you should be able to find it. So you can go and check and verify. Were you right or were you wrong? Then you can come back and be like, oh, I was wrong. Anthony did win.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
Spoilers.
Did I? Oh,
Oh,
Anyways,
Did I spoil it?
I kind of went on a little long about the Saint, but it's good.
it's good. Cool.
Just like the Saint. Goes a little bit long, got a lot of glide.
You had a lot of glide on that
Just
comment.
keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Not much fade, but a lot of glide.
All right, let's move on to the actual other big event from the past weekend that I was.
The Battle Under the Midnight Sun.
What about the Tursus? Tursus was freaking sick too.
We talked about
We
it.
talked about it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of like a truth, a little more stable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
The
All right.
agent, I think we just overstable.
A little bit. It's a little bit flatter than the classic agents, I feel.
What plastic did you say it
Prime
was?
burst.
Prime burst. Okay, so that'd probably flatten it or straighten it out a little bit more. So
Yeah, it did.
A little bit. Still very good.
Still good disc.
Yep.
All three of those are good. Good
Yeah.
trilogy challenge discs for sure.
100%. So the other event that I was alluding to was the Disc Golf Pro Tour match play event. We made some predictions about who we thought was going to win.
Ooh.
Kind of flubbed the rules on that one, but we'll get into that in 1, 2, 3. So like I said, Eric, you weren't here
I was not.
last week to make a prediction.
Can I make my predictions now of who's going to win?
Yes.
I'd probably say Joel Freeman
Sorry, he's actually playing FPO.
and
Or he's playing MPO. He's not in the FPO
and
division.
Own Scoggins.
Yeah, see, and she's in FPO, not MPO.
Dang,
Sorry. So
she's good.
you did get both of those wrong.
All right,
Those are
cool.
pretty good predictions.
Yeah, not bad.
So we made predictions
bad.
on
Those are pretty good post-dictions.
right. I was a little bit wrong on the rules. I thought it was just straight up bracket style of, two people play each other, winner advances, but
It was super weird.
it was more like World Cup kind of soccer tournament where there's a group play where you get put into your division and everybody in that division plays each other and then the winners move on. So we can take our predictions from just the head to head between the two people we picked. Eric, you weren't here. Danny went through and picked two people or a pairing.
Yeah. But
And-
he sent me an email with it. Is it the same thing?
He did. He probably sent you the email. We just didn't go over
Yeah.
your picks.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
you-
I have EMac picks.
And my picks were good.
I'm recording them. I have them recorded, so we'll keep track of a running tally through the whole year, what everybody's predictions were. But we didn't talk about them on the show.
Right.
Got it.
Sorry.
So we had the first prediction or the first pairing was AB versus Joel Freeman.
Mhm.
Joel Freeman won that.
Who did we
That's who I would have picked.
pick?
That
I
one
picked
was
Joel Freeman.
That one was unanimous. Everybody picked Joel
Everybody
Freeman,
picked- yeah, he's
including
been killing it.
I did 3 Facebook polls last week. I just did one for this week,
Okay.
where it's the Facebook poll was also for Joel Freeman.
Okay.
Yeah, not surprised there.
Next pairing was Big Germ versus Kevin Jones.
Everyone except me picked Kevin Jones, and Big Germ won that one.
Oh, what?
Wait.
No.
No. Sorry, Kevin Jones
I
won
was
that
gonna
one.
say,
My
what?
bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, Big
Yes.
Germ lost it. So that's
Yes.
what I picked.
And then the final pairing was Gannon versus Da Bazooka
The bazooka.
Albert. And I do believe that Gannon won that one as well.
Yes, AJ was the only one who picked Albert.
So, as a result of your boy going 3-0,
Oh.
getting all 3 of these right,
Me?
me,
I did too.
but we weren't here to talk about yours.
Hey, mine are in email form, post dated pre-event.
Nope.
So
That's true.
Irrelevant.
it is not irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Just because you suck at skip
Irrelevant.
ace,
I'm 3-0 in this.
you are
This is
0
completely-
20 in skip ace. So
I believe I'm like 2-18.
Okay.
Give me some credit. Exponentially more wins than you're giving me credit
man.
for.
that's
Yeah.
because you have Paul Macbeth on your team.
I also have Eagle.
Ah, well,
who
that's not
has
good.
not played much this year. Yeah.
Hey, Eagle did pretty well at the match play championships.
He did great.
Bogey free.
Yeah.
He commentated, just so you know.
He did. Some of the so going off of myself going undefeated, we're going to be bringing this back for the preserve. We'll get into those here in a little bit, but we'll talk about match play for a brief moment. There were a couple of highlights. It was funny. I had a couple of things written down that AJ also kind of sent over to me. One of them was kind of funny. I mean, probably not for her, but in the press conference, Missy Gannon, was she the 1 seed?
She was the one seed.
She brought a participation trophy
I saw that.
I'm going to butcher this.
Just say lucky.
Is it Lucky?
It's either lucky or Luke.
I thought it was Luque.
It is.
Okay.
But
So then
People call her
you're-
lucky, though.
You're trying to set me up.
the Americanized version is lucky. That's what she has on her Instagram handle is throw like lucky.
Okay. So Missy gave a participation trophy to her opponent before the event even started. Hilarious. A+ mind games. Love that. More of that, please, everyone.
How'd that work out for her?
Yeah, that's the part where
the problem.
Sorry. Oh, Missy.
Yeah, the buildup was incredible.
Yeah.
Perfect. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, but she did that similar something last year too.
She did.
Did she really?
She had a shirt on that. She said, "Oh, it's kind of hot in here," and she took it off, her jacket off. There's an arrow pointing at Kona. I think she was playing Kona first round, and it said, "She's going down" or something like that.
Yeah.
So Missy always brings the A game to these press conferences for match.
And I love it. I applaud it.
It's great.
It's great.
It is
and
great.
And even like during that first match when she's playing against Luque and not blowing her out of the water. I think she was like losing the match until maybe the 8th or 9th hole when she tied it up again. But Missy's attitude in those situations is positive. And I think,
for sure.
And it's just like completely self-aware. So yeah, even though she, lost her pool, still applause for the entertainment and for just being a stand-up
give
person.
it back to her, the participation trophy.
Oh, that would be so funny. Oh, here, I think you actually.
Yeah. Oh, you left this.
I think you wanted this.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
I believe you brought
don't
this.
recall.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd have been great.
That and then the clip that I've seen getting shared around of it was Big Germ and Kevin Jones.
Yeah.
Terry Miller was asking about their head-to-head matchup, and Big Germ was just like, "Yeah, it's not good. It's not good for me."
So look, he may have me better in forehand drives, long distance,
better looking,
putting, better looking. And then Germs was like, but he's not going to tell something about
he can't make people laugh, and that's really what this is going to come down to.
Yeah. There was like a Canadian something Instagram that I saw. They shared that on Instagram. It was like a
it was a news
news anchor that shared it. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I've seen that one getting shared around a lot. That was
pretty good.
That was really good. Did you guys have any other highlights or noteworthy moments?
Well, yeah, I mean, the matchups were really interesting, especially like getting down into the semis. I thought that was kind of cool. It was like the FPO semis was really good putter versus really good putter and big arm versus big arm. And then in the finals, it was really good putter versus big arm. And that
really
was
good putter.
And really good putter took it.
Yeah.
Really good putter ended up owning the situation.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Which, by the way, called that one. Hey, I don't think anybody picked Joel to win MPO. Or did you pick him, Danny?
I only got one option for voting, so.
We didn't do who was going to win. We just did
matches.
We unofficially
matchups.
picked him.
I would have.
Because I remember
that dude is on fire.
AJ was debating whether or not he wanted to pick Simon. And so I picked him ahead of you, so you couldn't. And then I just
So let me ask. I have to ask the question.
Yep.
This event, like the fact that not everybody was there, not the top names were there, does it lose any steam? Like, what's the point of this event? Is it just kind of like a showcase style of event with a lot of money added to it? And why not take that money? And I mean, there's a lot of money in this event. Why not just use that money for either another event or the finale to add even more money to that finale? Because I mean, I've heard a lot of the players this year complaining about there's so many events, and that's why a lot of the top names skip this event because Ricky, Paul, those guys, what's $10,000 for first place to them?
Sure. Which, I mean, I get that, but what's the payout for the finale this year for first place?
I don't know. Last year was 35.
Last year it was 30,000. So
I thought it was 35.
I think it was 35, but I imagine it won't be less than that, right?
Correct.
You've got to think it's going to be at least that. Probably safe to assume it'll be higher.
I assume it'd be higher.
So
I would not be shocked to see the number 50 come out.
Yeah, which would be massive.
Yeah,
that'd be insane.
The bar is set.
So I guess I would kind of turn the question back on you. If the finale is already 50,000 this year, which hypothetically it's 50,000. What's wrong with them running another event where first place is 10,000?
Sure. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I'm not taking away from the players that were there and won it. I'm just saying if the top players in the sport are choosing to not go to this, how much weight does this event hold?
In my mind, I feel like it's similar to like the All-Star event.
Yes.
Where it's kind of
which I don't care for that one either.
Sure. And I think they have it's listed separately on the website. I think they call them special events.
It's interesting that, I mean, I think it's a special event or an exhibition match kind of deal, which is I think meant for the fans.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear that you as a fan are disinterested in.
Well, the players I want to see weren't there.
Okay.
That's the whole point. Like you didn't have the number one female, you didn't have the number one male.
True.
You can keep going down that list.
True.
That's what my thought was on it.
And I will challenge you to then say to take the word not out of your vocabulary and then
weren't.
You know what I'm saying?
They were elsewhere.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, because you could say, Paul was not there. Ricky was not there. Dickerson was not there. But, and then on top of that, you can also say Simon Lizotte was there.
Oh yeah. And like I said,
Anthony Barella won him.
Like I said, and like I've been saying, I'm not taking it away from the players that were there.
Right.
I'm just saying not everybody was there. So how much stock do you put into this event? You know, where's the money come from? All of that. Who raises this money? Would it make more sense to put it into a pool and turn that 50,000 into 80,000 at the end of the year? And then to me, I think the All-Star break should be now, mid-season, not first tournament of the year.
All-Stars at the beginning of the
January
year
or February.
Yeah, that's strange.
That's when I would rather see it happen.
Yeah, I think that's a separate topic.
It is. It absolutely is. And I'm not taking anything away from the event because I love match play. I think match play is fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
It just felt a little weird.
The question is like, how can we get all for
viewership? How can we get everybody in one place for viewership?
Yeah. And I just, right. I mean, I'm right there with you. I'd like to be at the table trying to discuss that and figuring out
and you're never going to get everybody.
Strategy.
That's all there is to it.
True.
Especially if it doesn't count for points and all that, and people have their eyes on the prize and
especially
that kind of thing
in the middle of the season too. Like you were saying, guys like Paul, Ricky, whatever. There's so many events that the opportunity to not play something and not miss out on a chance to gain points, win a major, win another pro tour or something like that. Like this is probably close to on par with a Silver Series ish in terms of prestige.
I'd say it's
maybe even a little north of Silver Series, just with the payout.
And I was going to say less because there's no points.
Well, no points, but
the payouts.
Prestige wise, I think
payouts and the exposure for sure.
Yeah.
And so there you go. That's why you have this event is to give more exposure to more players and give the fans something to watch.
Sure.
Because I think that's really what these different channels are fighting for. They're trying to put out content, give their audience something to watch in hopes that will attract a bigger audience. It's like you can look at Disc Golf Network and their product and put Jomez side by side. And so when the Elite Series is taking a week or two off, Jomez puts out content that they filmed months ago.
Sure.
So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. And content is content, but I'm not comparing Jomez to Disc Golf Network either.
Sure.
And I'm not taking anything away from the match play event because I enjoy it. I watched when I could, but it just felt weird. That's all.
Real quick before we move on to the preserve, what you guys back in your touring days, what would it take aside from a large payout? Because $10,000 in first place is already a pretty decent payout. And obviously they're going to save the big payout for the finale at the end of the season. What would it take put yourselves in the shoes of Paul, Ricky, Paige, Kristen, those people, the top 1 and 1A of their fields. What would it take to get you to play this event that doesn't count for points, it doesn't count for standings in the middle of a season, rather than taking a free week off?
I would take a free week off probably.
Just one excited fan. That's all it would take. I don't know.
I disagree.
I mean, well, yeah, for me, it's like I still get like my eyes still go wide when I see just 3 zeros just 4 digits in a payout. $1,000 payout is like,
sure, but put yourself in the shoes of Ricky.
Sure,
right, where
and that's tough to do because I mean the money isn't an issue. If it's not for points, that's
right.
Why would I even go? Unless there's some type of bonus or some type of if points did matter. If it was like an extra added, I don't know what how the points breakdown works right now, but if it was an added 100 points if you win the event, or something like that.
Sure. What if it's a standings based thing? What if the Pro Tour works out a deal with, obviously they have some sort of relationship with ESPN or CBS Sports where this gets covered by that. And like you're talking about, Jomez puts out content from a month ago during off weeks.
100%.
What if that's a thing where they put the match play airs on ESPN2 in December or whenever there's kind of a lull in both
which they do
or sports.
With the finale.
Sure. But what if this is just another opportunity for that? Maybe it doesn't have the, again, hypothetical $50,000 to first place payout, but it's kind of like hey, check out this other side of disc golf that's a similar kind of bracket style invite only event, but the rules are different where match play is big enough in golf that people understand that. Yeah. If you were Paul Macbeth, if you were Ricky Wysocki, would the opportunity to play on ESPN, CBS, NBC Sports,
I think so,
whatever?
Potentially. I think that would definitely, it wouldn't hurt.
Sure.
It wouldn't hurt in my opinion. And now you bring in that brings up another good point that I would rather see is this match play event kind of not dissolve, but maybe join forces with the President's Cup, where it's USA versus America, because I think there's a better story to be told there than in just the match play, you know. And the President's Cup has always been such a phenomenal event. If you've never been to it, which there's probably not too many people, not too many of our listeners probably have, because I think it's only been held in the States one time. Possibly 2009 maybe twice. Or something like that. 2011, 10, somewhere in recently. That time. No, and I was on that team, and it was an honor to be on that team. Like it was for real. Like it was just such an honor, and it was at USDGC, and now they do it at the European Open, and I was fortunate enough to be the Captain America one year, and it was. I mean, you did not want to be the first American captain to lose to Team Europe. Right. And I'm glad I'm not this year, because I'll tell you what, it's going to happen soon. It's going to be tough. I would rather see them join forces in that regard and blow that thing out of the water with Disc Golf Network, do video coverage of it, add more money to it. Cause I don't think we've ever played for money at the President's Cup. It's more for honor, right? I guess play for the trophy.
And so when you bring that
would be very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the difference when you think of why a player like Ricky or Paul or Paige or Katrina chooses to play
or Valerie,
one or the other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think overall,
I think my 4 names.
No, they're good. They're good names. But same with
also
Valerie, who has 2 wins this year.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
0 world championships. Sorry.
Well, it hasn't been played this year, so nobody has world championships.
You can't get out of here. You're out. You're off the team. Mute. You're off Understable Minds.
I said,
please cut his microphone for the rest of the round.
5-time world champion, 2-time world champion.
Thank you.
Got him.
World champion, 2-time world champion.
I don't care what you said. But you still can't not say her name this year.
Right.
You also said Chris Dickerson earlier, who doesn't have a world title. So
this is true.
This is a separate conversation.
Right.
So
get the overall. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Overall, good event.
Alaska has changed this man.
Yes, right. But yeah, hey, when you run from bears and moose all day long, nothing matters anymore.
All right, let's move on to the Preserve is this coming weekend.
It is.
I feel like we've left a lot on the table. Because this match play event, I don't know.
There's still a lot on the table, AJ. We have more to get to as well.
Right. Well, I want to try to wrap it up.
All right. Get to wrap.
So put
a bow on it.
Something like President's Cup, Ryder Cup in traditional golf. It's the prestige. It's the honor. Mm-hmm. That is why someone says, yes, I will play, even if it's no money. Right.
Yeah.
They'll say, for the honor, I want to be a part of that team. Similar to, going to the Olympics if you're an NBA star. They get paid whatever. But this match play event, you can tell there's not as much tradition. So the prestige and the honor is not there. Mm-hmm. So then you say, okay, well, why would they choose? Why would they not choose? It's money and entertainment. And so if you ask me, if I was the person who had Ricky's accomplishments and all that, then the reasons why I would choose to play that match play event is because I feel like I'm an entertainer as well as an athlete. And so that's why I would play this match play championship event, is because it's another chance to entertain my fans and my supporters and followers. So
it's hard to put yourself in those shoes if you're not in those shoes.
For sure.
For
sure. Yeah. Right. Because that's another discussion. And, you can look at other sports that have their top stars, who some of them fall into that like strictly athlete category. And some of them may fall closer to that entertainer category.
AJ, you're done.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's fun.
God, dude, we've got Preserve Pick'ems. Eric, you weren't here last time. You are here this time.
Yep.
Danny asked us to make our predictions. Did you make your predictions?
I like how your voice is adapting to the background music. Well done.
Did I make what predictions?
The ones that Danny emailed you?
Maybe.
Yes. Find out.
I guess I did.
First one, we've got Double G versus the defending Pick'ems event champion, Joel Freeman.
So hot right now.
So hot right now.
Oh, no, this isn't the first one. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll do this one. Linus. Don't ever call him Linus Carlson. Versus Ezra. I'm going to bench press your house 8er hold. You two. No,
us two. Pick Linus.
We went with Linus. Don't call him Linus. AJ called him Linus. AJ was impressed.
Bro, that's Carl's son right there.
AJ saw the biceps and was like, I can't not. AJ, defend yourself picking Ezra right now.
Well, actually, it's because he's lessened the bicep focus because it's kind of inhibited his range of motion.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I think that's what he said on a recent podcast. That's the only reason
biceps are too big. And you were like, dang, dude, if his biceps are too big, there's no way he doesn't win this.
No, I was saying if he shrinks those biceps, he's unstoppable because those biceps are getting in the way of his clean hyzer release.
So right now he is stoppable.
He has been stoppable. You know who else has been stoppable?
Who?
Linus. I think he was predicted to be like a top 10 talent this year. And right now he's like mid-20s, mid-30s talent.
Wow, shots fired.
Kinda. I mean,
last week you said AB was the worst player on tour. Is Linus the second worst player on tour?
When it comes to...
Or are you saying he doesn't even count as on tour because he went into Europe and he's not even here the whole time? Not even a touring caliber player? Is that what you're saying right now?
I mean, I've been on tour and I was a touring purist. So yeah, if you leave to go home, better be for a good reason.
And it better not be across an ocean either, because that's too far.
I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but really, I mean, I feel like Ezra is surging. He's playing well. He also might be kind of miffed because he didn't make it to the semis or the finals in this match play championship, and Preserve, somewhat wide open course, big course.
Yeah.
Dude can throw big.
Right. I went almost the opposite reasoning. I feel like Linus is going to be kind of refreshed, and whereas we were just talking about how there's so many events and people are just kind of like, oh my gosh, there's an event every single week. I got to keep playing disc golf.
Yeah.
I feel like that might kind of weigh down Ezra, whereas Linus is kind of, he was back home and now while he was still playing events in Europe, he's kind of coming back to the United States. And so maybe it'll feel a little bit different, a little bit more rejuvenated, so to speak. So that's why I went with Linus.
For what it's worth, the Facebook page also went with Linus, but it was a very narrow margin.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great matchup. I think this was a really good pick, Danny. I think this is a
So just to clarify for the fans and for myself who wasn't here last week, this is just who finishes better at the tournament.
Yes.
Between
those two.
Yep. Yeah.
And then next week we'll come back and revisit
Discuss
them.
it. Got it.
See if Anthony went 3-0 again.
Right.
Just I don't know if I've said that I got all of them right last week.
I mean, I did too, but that's okay. We don't need to talk about
Look,
because I wasn't here.
I'm not taking anything away from you.
You
Eric.
just took it away from me.
All I know is that
you 100% took it away from me.
I got everything right.
Rewind the tape.
I
don't care what you think.
I got everything right last week. AJ, you went 2-1, I think.
Yeah.
And Danny, I think, also went
2-1.
2-1. But I went 3-0.
I did too, but
Sick,
whatever.
All right.
Cool.
Let's move on to matchup number 2 / matchup number 1. Double
This
G
matchup stinks.
This one's
versus
tough.
Joel Freeman.
This one was tough.
Wow.
Double G's.
You both went double G.
Double G.
So you both went with double G. I went with Joel Freeman. I guess I kind of have to defend myself on this one. I think.
Yeah. Why? What you think?
I think double G's the sucker's pick for this.
Okay.
Because I think the preserve is obviously a little bit more open, big, long course. Double G known for throwing big, long drives. But I think Joel Freeman's not a slouch when it comes to distance. He's not the biggest in the elite category, but he's got plenty of distance.
Yep.
I think he's going to be riding high off of that last week's victory that was highly elevated in terms of stature, questionable, in terms of sea level, very elevated. So I think Joel Freeman's going to be coming in kind of with the hot hand, whereas Double G's kind of like, oh yeah, I won, but that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So,
then lost the playoff the week before.
Right.
He is on a high. I think Double G's on a higher high than Joel Freeman personally.
He might be on a higher high, but I think Joel Freeman's coming off of a hotter hot because it's more recent.
I wouldn't say that.
When you got the oven running and you got that sucker cranked up there,
asterisk next to his win,
and it's hot, but then you turn it off and you leave it off for a couple of minutes. It's not quite as hot.
Match play is a different ballgame than stroke play.
This is true.
That's why I'm going with my boy Double G.
Okay.
Plus he sent me some jerky, so.
Dude, that's why I didn't, because he was like, oh, I'm going to not send him some jerky. AJ, thoughts on Double G, or did you pick him strictly because Big Bomber on Big Bomber course?
Yeah, that helped. That helped for sure. And really kind of the last week fueled my decision as well. I thought, okay, rest week for Double G after a stretch of long events. I think that's going to help him.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically. And then, physically, course sets up well for him. But then also on the flip side, to think of, thinking of Joel.
You putting an asterisk next to his win? You're like, it doesn't even count.
Well,
not cool.
No, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
The only reason I would put that is because it's match play, not stroke play. That's the absolute only reason why.
Okay, so AJ, hate Linus Carlson. That's what you said. Eric thinks Joel Freeman is terrible at disc golf.
No.
Right.
No.
Big fan of Double G's craft jerky. Yeah. So let's move on to matchup 3.
I am. However, before we go further than that, it's a win-win for me what happened with Joel Freeman because he's on my Understable Minds.
Oh, there you go.
That's why you did it. So just hedging your bets. There's no way you can lose.
I'm a winner next week.
Guaranteed. All right, let's go to matchup 3. We've got Jen Allen versus the other match play champion, Owen Scoggins.
We better be 3 owns.
Yeah.
Nice.
So why should we better be 3 owns, Eric? Why?
Because look at her stats this year.
Right.
Insane.
Pretty good stats.
She's been on like almost every feature card, every lead card, every chase card that she wasn't on the lead card. And how many second place finishes? How many third place? I mean, she's just been killing it this year.
She's doing real well. I think she's, like rankings and standings wise, I think she's somewhere around like 6th or 7th for both of those.
That would seem right.
Give or take a few spots, and that's incredible. So yeah, I mean, I think she's got a lot of good momentum, and I mean, putting is the greatest equalizer, and so I just think that I think
she's
that'll
the best putter out there.
I'd rather put my money on that than a lot of other things.
So then I guess I'm interested to hear from you guys why distance off the tee was a factor for Double G when it comes to him versus Joel. But then Jen Allen, I think she holds the world record for female distance.
She's got that distance.
She's in the upper echelon of FPO distance. How come you guys didn't factor that in as much? Is it because Owen's putting is just, you think that much better?
I don't want to be that guy, but I think it's because of Jen's putting. Is why I picked Owen. That is the equalizer there. I think Jen has struggled with her putt inside the circle. Mm-hmm. I've seen her go to the turbo putt as of recent. So
that's never a good sign.
No. Yeah. It's a lack of confidence thing, I think, and is really what it is. And that's 100% why I took Owen, even if she can't throw as far as Jen, but she is, in my opinion, one of the most accurate FPO players on approaches, getting shots where she needs to put them, and then obviously putting circle 2, circle 1, whatever it is. Well, I don't know what she does, but she just puts that disc in the basket. And that's why, to me, I always relied on my putting to win, and it worked for me. So that's why I'm definitely applying it here.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking 3 points: accuracy, consistency, and putting. Yep. And so when you think of Double G compared to Jennifer, I think those are the three big standouts, because they're pretty similar, even though they're playing in 2 different divisions. I think you could say, Garrett is the Jen Allen of MPO and vice versa. But I would give Garrett the edge for those 3 reasons. Yeah. So.
And Garrett's really worked on his putt.
Exactly.
His putt looked really good in Portland. It looked very, very good in Portland.
All over Oregon, it looked really good.
The similarities between Drew Gibson and Double G are like, it's crazy. Like both of them forever have just been they go to Top Gun for distance. They are the best of the best when it comes to distance off the tee. And it's always been putting in and around the basket. That's kind of been their downfall.
Their danger zone?
Yeah. Danger zone. Yes. And
you said Top Gun.
He did.
Right.
He did it.
Yeah. Missed opportunity on my part for sure. But then you can see over the last year or so, both of them have really put in work on their putt. They've really improved their putt. And now Drew, I think 2-time champion on the Pro Tour. Double G just went to a playoff, lost that, and then won the next week on a Pro Tour level. You can really see that their distance and their tee shots are still there.
Absolutely.
But as the putting gets better and better, they're in that top tier player category. Mm-hmm. Cool. Last for the preserve, we've got our Grip 6 picks. The shoe-in, very easy answer. Unfortunately, Kristen Tatar will not be there. So we're going to switch over to that and see who we've got for our picks. We've got 6 names that we need to go with.
Oh, what up, Rick?
What are you guys thinking? Yeah, right. Kristen.
Oh, man. Gosh.
So Kristen will not be there, but Ricky
is there and feeling good.
Yep. Back again. So do we think just put Rick in immediately because number 1 player in the world type thing?
I mean, he's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. Especially on a course like that where I don't know if the layout's going to be exactly the same.
I think it's changed a little. I think there's a new par 4, a couple new pin placements.
I think you're right.
From Logan Harpool, I saw. He sent me a message about him. So
sick.
There's a few changes. I don't think it's anything drastic like we did this year for DynamicDiscs Open, but
sure. I was just going to say, I think that course that they play, it kind of gets a little deuce or die-ish, or at least birdie or die-ish, in that second half. And I think Rick still lives in that mindset. Yeah. For having been on tour for as long as he has and having played big events as well as little events, I think he's still, when it comes time to birdie or get out,
or die.
Yeah. Right.
He's living. Rick's living.
Rick is
Livin.
Rick's getting birdies.
So we've got Rick as one of our MPO picks. Are we thinking, do we want to look at previous champions? Are we thinking maybe Nico, or do we want to stick with like Paul, Calvin, those top ranked players? What are we thinking for our next pick?
Oh, that's a tough one. Can you put that back up there, Danny? It's a good list of people.
Paul, Calvin, Simon, Gannon, James. Do we think Kale?
Kale's not a bad pick. He's definitely, I mean, he knows the course better than anybody.
Right.
I feel like he plays pretty well when he goes out there.
I feel like we need to get one like sneaky pick somewhere in here.
Yeah, Joel Freeman.
Somebody that it could be somebody that we don't think other people are going to pick. So that
hot right now.
When that person pops off, we can win a belt.
Ooh.
Because that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Have we finished in the top 1,000 yet?
So Eric, what do we want for our next? Let's stick to the topic here. Okay.
Yeah,
we don't need to bring
triple digits is like a belt. That's a belt for us.
We don't need to bring the past.
I mean, okay. So do you,
it's kind of lame on grip 6 to only be giving out one belt.
Yeah. Right.
What the heck? Yeah. You guys, I'm sure you guys are able to give out like at least 50 belts.
Yeah.
Please.
Come on.
Or do we think, based on previous conversation, do we think own is kind of in the shoe-in category?
I don't know. What about?
No,
I mean,
if we're talking belts,
if we're still on MPO, I mean, is it hard to not pick like a Simon exactly who just went back-to-back dubs?
Simon's not a bad pick.
This course is definitely.
I would like to,
in his wheelhouse.
Yep.
I think.
So do we like Simon? I like Simon.
Yeah, Simon's already up there.
Yeah.
So.
Simon, yeah.
Simon's a good pick. Okay.
And Calvin gave Rick a run last year as well.
Many times. Calvin has given lots of people many runs.
Yeah.
He's very good.
It's true.
Do we think Calvin? Simon, Rick, Calvin?
Rick, Calvin.
I think the play is to start out filling it up and then see who you need to sub out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go to FPO.
FPO. Okay. Paige, Katrina, Own, Haley, Evelina, Valerie, Hannah's back. Missy, Jen Allen, who we just talked about.
Hannah is back.
Hannah's back.
Hannah is signed up.
So is Evelina. They're both back.
Dang.
Do we think we're talking about bombers? Do we think Paige, Katrina, kind of two of the most notable big distance players in the FPO field?
Paige definitely is.
Yeah.
I'd say Paige should be on that list regardless.
That's right. Last year she averaged 1,009, didn't she?
I think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I just saw an Instagram post earlier.
Courses like this definitely.
This is the toughest one we've had for picks go.
Yeah.
Up on my phone so I can actually see it.
Grip 6, can you change your name to Grip 10?
Grip 10.
Can we get 2 more?
Well, we want 6. Can everybody else pick 10? Because then our chances, the less people we have, the much easier it is to score low points.
I think you're right.
We'll go.
It's interesting to see. Haley King's going to be in this field too. She hasn't been out in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's hurting her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with you. What about Valerie?
Yeah, I think
who also won both events in Portland. Well, right?
Oregon.
In Oregon.
Yeah.
Technically, Beaver State's not Portland.
It technically is not, but it technically is.
Yep. Technically.
Is it in the same county?
It's Estacada, whatever. It's just south of there.
Yeah.
It's still called, I mean, people like, I'm going to Portland to play.
Right.
Yeah, Milo. So
we've got 2 picks left.
We'll see everybody in Kansas City for the Pro World Championship.
That's a little different.
That's at least a different state.
Right. You're right. That's 2 hours. Yeah. We're 2 hours away.
Right.
Yeah.
Portland and Estacada are like 45 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, then maybe just don't put Val on there since she didn't win both of them in Portland, you smart A.
Do we want Val? I don't think that's a bad pick. Do we want to go?
How do you not pick the person who just won the last 2 events?
I want to manifest that. I want to watch Val take on on the lead card on Sunday. So yeah, please let's
So do we like those 6?
That's
Ricky,
those
Simon,
6.
Calvin?
Those 6 right there really seem to be like we're not going to win a belt because there's not that one player that you mentioned. That,
okay, so then who?
I think you take Calvin out and put somebody else in there.
Give me a name.
I don't have a name. I'm just saying that list is like, I'm not. I don't have an answer.
Then let's. Oh, do we want Nico then?
I
Nico
think Danny's
was
got
one
names.
preserved.
Do Double G.
Double G.
I like Double G.
He did really well at this event last year. He did well in Oregon too. So like,
Double G's not a bad pick.
That is true.
He did not do well in Portland because he lost in Portland.
Well, he did well. He just didn't do exceptionally well.
He did win, so
he did well, but not great.
Correct.
Good, not great.
Correct.
So do we like those 6?
I'm just still baffled by that second shot on 18,
the forehand
final round. Yeah. But I think, sorry.
Quit living in the past, AJ. We're in the future, dude.
Sometimes it just comes back up, man.
Move on to the future, man.
I thought about it as I said that.
It's just like, dude, what are you doing?
All right. So
anyways,
lock these 6 in.
I like that.
I do like it.
How many total strokes under par will MPO and FPO champions
Does
score?
this really matter? I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
If it's between winning the belt, if you're tied, then it does.
It does matter.
Oh, okay.
I got a feeling we're going to be tied. It's 3 rounds.
Okay.
Like we were talking about, it's a bit of a birdie fest.
What was last year? What was last year's? I think that's what you kind of got to base it off of.
Last year, give me a minute and I can look that up for you.
You have 1 minute.
But I think we want to set the number pretty low.
I feel like
we want to start low.
Really? He just said it was a birdie or die course.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like low, like as in low scores.
Okay.
People are going to shoot low.
Yes, and I was just about to say, I feel like a 30-10
So
is a good starting point.
Ricky won last year at 35. Kristen won last year at 19. She's not here. Paige was in second last year at 9.
So Paige averaged 1,009 at this tournament and didn't win?
Could have been 2 years ago.
It might have been 2 years
Okay. I was just saying.
Yeah, Paige was 950, 974, 998 last year.
I don't think that average is a 10.09. If I do my math.
Right.
Math has changed since I was in school. But
Okay, so going off of last
Quick
year's
maths.
scores,
that's
the total
35 plus, what'd you say Kristen was?
Kristen was 19, but
Okay.
she beat Paige by 10. So if we use players that are going to be their scores, it would be 44. But last year the total would have been 54.
So meet in
But
the middle?
Kristen will not be there.
So meet in the middle?
50?
Call it 50?
51.
51?
Yeah, it's got to be odd.
All right, I like it.
Okay. So those are our 6 Grip 6 picks. Do not copy these because we will be winning the belt.
And we're not going to share it with you.
Right. Get your own picks. We're just going to rotate the belt between us.
Right. Every week.
All right. AJ had a belt while you were gone. You didn't see it. AJ had a big blinged out championship
is it
WWE wrestling belt
Why are you explaining this belt like you don't know what this belt is?
because I've never had it.
Oh, okay.
One day maybe.
One day you'll
Yeah.
be there.
I'm just trying to build up hype around the belt so that
So when you do,
when I do get
win
it, I can show up in like a big silk robe.
yeah,
I'm gonna have a blinged
wear it
out
over your
shirt.
shoulder.
That's what AJ
just had it
Giovanni
on
was
the whole
talking
time.
about.
Yeah. I might Flavor Flav it and wear it like a necklace.
Oh, nice.
And just
It is pretty sweet belt.
Okay,
have
but
severe neck pains the whole time.
first you got to show up to the Sunday tag league.
Well, it needs to
That's
not
also
be
true.
100 degrees outside. Or they need to have tags at like 7.
That's also true.
Because I'll play like
Yeah,
Trilogy
I'll be
Challenge?
honest. I absolutely hate the 1 p.m. Sunday afternoon tags rounds. Like, I don't like that time. I agree with you. I think it should be earlier or later.
I just don't like it because it's hot.
Yeah,
It's very
earlier
hot.
or later.
It's
I don't mind Sunday. Just 1 p.m. There's something about 1 p.m. on a Sunday.
12:30 p.m. on
This
Sunday.
tangent is brought to you by Grip 6. Grip 6. You made us think about belts, and then you made us think about wrestling belts, and then you made us think about
How much
The
we
DD
hate the
Weather
heat.
belts.
DD staff
Is that a
league
thing?
rounds.
Yeah.
Grip
Time
6.
belts.
Hot.
All right. That is all the time that we do have for episode 30 of Understable Minds. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Eric, for coming back.
Hey,
I know the weather in Alaska was much more enjoyable than here.
I got on
Scenery,
the plane at 58 degrees.
You got off and it was higher than.
It was
probably
almost double. Almost
Yeah.
double that. Correct.
I was going to say you could reverse those numbers and it's like, it's still like
Still.
10 degrees hotter
Yeah.
than that.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it's very hot. It looks like it's getting better. Should be better
Sunday
come
looks
time
nice.
for Worlds. So
Yeah.
we're getting the heat out of the way. We're baking the heat off, and then we'll kind of crack the oven door come end of August. But that is all the time that we've got for episode 30 of Understable Minds. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will see you all next week after the Preserve, where we can talk about, once again, my picks winning. Linus, Own, Joel Freeman, book it. Book it now. What's the betting app that takes disc golf bets? Put money on those. Please don't put money on those. If you feel so inclined to put money on those, I'm not liable for you putting money on those. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll see you guys next week.